Right, y'all, it's Brother Will, aka Quiet Storm, and we're back with week 8 of the 52-week challenge. Today we're going to talk about learning how to walk. That's right, learning how to walk. And of course, we're going to come from a spiritual aspect, um, using the scripture reference saying that we walk by faith and not by sight. Now, the word says that a just man falls 7 times, but he get back up. Now, just naturally speaking, nothing spiritual. If a man falls 7 times, that means he has to get back up at least 6 times. You know what I'm saying? So, with that being said, what I'm hoping is that each time he fell, that he learned something that'll help him to walk a little better once he got back up. And maybe he can walk a little further or walk a little better each time that he gets up. All right? Now, that illustration, it basically shows us, that even though we are considered righteous and just, we still fall. There's still temptation out there. There's still stumbling blocks like we talked about last week, different situations and circumstances that come up and cause us to fall, and at times we need instruction, we need encouragement. Sometimes we may even need someone to hold our hand while we're learning to walk. You can look at a situation to where, say for example, someone was in a bad car accident and they lose use of their limbs, use of their legs, whatever, and going through rehabilitation, going through that process of learning how to walk again. And it's the same type of thing spiritually, that as we're going along this walk of faith, sometimes we need people to teach us how to walk, teach us how to live per se, how to believe God. Now, if you look in the book of Hebrews, I think it's around like chapter 10, there's like a list, that goes on. They talk about Abraham and Joseph, Moses and Noah, people like that. Some call it the wall of faith or the hall of faith, where it just goes down the list of different people who believe God, people who are walking by faith and not by sight. And basically what they were doing is, when the scripture says we walk by faith and not by sight, that means that we walk and we move according to what God has said, not according to what we see in our present circumstances. And of course, that has to be taught, that has to be built up over time. You can look at an example of a little baby. There's something in them that automatically knows they're supposed to get up and walk. So, when they start off crawling, but eventually they try to stand up and they try to walk. At times you got to hold their hands. At times you got to encourage them. At times you got to instruct them, move your left foot, move one foot at a time, move your left, move your right. They have to be taught how to walk. And that's the same thing, that, we have to do in the faith. So even as mature believers, no matter what your status is or where you are in your belief and your faith, you can still fall. And someone can always teach you something, So that's the aspect that we're coming from tonight, just really learning how to walk by faith. But the first thing that you need to do to really walk by faith and not by sight is you have to know what God says about your current situation, not just, where you are right now. Like, say, for example, I guess everybody, likes money. So if you don't really have much money right now, you might, instead of saying like, I'm broke, or always saying I'm broke, man, I don't have no money, you can say, well, okay, God has given me the power to get wealth. And then you walk in faith by that, because you may not have the money now, but you have the capacity and the ability to get wealth. That's why we go out and work on jobs and, we do different things, because we have the power to get wealth. And we know that we have to eat, and stuff like that, and pay bills, and we need a place to stay. So instead of confessing that I'm broke, just say, well, hey, I got the power to get wealth. I'm going to do what I need, I'm going to use my gifts, what God has given me. I'm going to use the tools, whatever's in my hand, whatever's in my heart, to get what I got to get and do what I got to do. That's part of really learning how to to walk by faith and not by sight. Just another example, say, I don't know, someone may say, I'm fat, I'm out of shape, but you're not doing anything about it. Right now you see that you're out of shape, but faith can tell you that, you know what, I'm going to start working out, I'm going to start eating right, I'm going to start doing things to where I can be in shape, so I can lose some of this fat or whatever, so I can get in a better position. That's walking by faith. So I'm gonna get a gym membership, and I'm gonna get on the treadmill. I'm not gonna drink as many sodas or whatever, But that's something that has to be learned, it has to be taught, and you have to go through it in phases. So with all that being said, the encouragement for today is, go to God in prayer or however you speak with Him. Ask Him to give you the wisdom. Ask Him to teach you how to walk by faith and not by sight. How not to be moved and controlled by your current situation and circumstances, but move towards a desired goal, move towards what He said, and just believe what He says. All right? Again, Brother Will, week 8, learning how to walk. Hopefully y'all got some encouragement out of that, and I'll see y'all next week. God bless.